here in Park City, Utah with Krista Parry, Director of Marketing Communications. And you guys have been doing some really cool stuff with social media marketing and some really cool interactive online with also your interactive marketing director, Eric Hoffman, who's standing right off camera here. And we've been skiing this morning, and the powder is great. And the weather is really nice. And
I know, I'm so jealous. Unfortunately, I'm not able to ski much these days.
You're a little, I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but she's about to give birth.
The camera adds 10, but maybe not 25.
Yeah, 25. I think we look great. Yeah. I have a slimming lens on.
Oh, good. All right. Thanks for putting on the slimming lens.
So tell me a little bit about what you guys have been doing and what got you into it.
Yeah, you know, I think it all started, I started out at Park City Mountain Resort. I've been here, this is my 7th season. And I started out here as the public relations manager. And about 4 years ago, you know, we just wanted to have a new way to talk to our customers.
Right.
And I thought, you know, we need to start a blog. Like, blogs are kind of, not many people had blogs back then. Right. It was kind of this term of, oh, I don't know what we're going to do with the blog. And we talked about it as a team, as a marketing team, and I took it to the president and said, listen, we need to start a blog. We need to start an opportunity where we can engage people.
Right.
You know, we can engage people in a more, I guess, unmarkety way. You know, something that's more authentic, that's more personal.
Right.
And there was a lot of pushback. You know, a lot of like, no way, because what if somebody says something negative? And it's like, well, so what? What if somebody does post a negative comment? You know, so then we went back and forth between the, well, let's not have open comments. It's like, well, then that's not a blog. You know, the whole thing about the blog is that it is interactive and that, that you're engaging. You know, social media is all about engagement. And so we convinced them to be able to have open comments. And you know, the first year or two, we maybe had 10 comments total. I mean, we didn't have a lot of people commenting, and I think it's because blogs weren't as acceptable back then.
Right.
People weren't using blogs to engage others at that time 2 years ago. You know, I'm proud to say that the blog really has helped us in a lot of different ways. You know, from a crisis communication standpoint, we had 3 years ago, it was actually our first year when we had the blog, the first season, we had, they termed us Broke Lift Mountain because we, you know, Brokeback Mountain had just come out. And we had a different lift go down basically every week. And it's not like it just went down and we could take people up. We had to evac like 200 people. You know, these were our big 6-passenger chairs that were fully loaded, you know.
That's rough.
And it was rough, and it was, you know, what we found is that it was a way that we could say to people, hey, listen, we're telling you exactly what's going on. We're giving you up to the minute, you know, information as to what we're doing to fix the problem, you know, when the lifts will be back up, all those different things. And we got so much positive feedback from people saying, thank you so much for keeping us informed. And I think that it goes back to the overall corporate strategy of let's be open with our communications.
Cool. And you mentioned the fear of negative comments, and I was fortunate enough to hear your talk yesterday, Social Media 101.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I thought it was great. You know, Social Media 101. Everybody usually is like, oh, great, another social media. But it was good. It was everybody in the room seemed very energized about it, without being overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, because there is so much to learn.
But so you gave a good example of how negative comments sort of panned out on your blog.
Absolutely, and you know, we saw that this year. Speaking to our ski patrol, this year was a pretty tough snow year as far as avalanche conditions. We got a lot of really early season snow, meaning in October, and you know, and it didn't really snow for a long time. So that snow base just obviously got really bad, and we didn't open Jupiter Lift until after January 1st, which is really late. And we were getting a lot of snow, and people were saying, why aren't you, you know, you guys are keeping all the snow for yourselves. You know, they always think that the reason why we're not opening it is because we're skiing it ourselves, or the ski patrol is up taking turns. And it was, you know, we got some negative comments about that. And we'll take the negative comments because I think it goes back to that transparency, authenticity, which are the two biggest things with social media. But what we won't do is, and what we found is that when we would post, you know, somebody would say something negative, there would be 4 other comments back from other people who were leaving comments, just saying, supporting us, saying, are you stupid? You know, just what do you think they're doing out there? You guys are doing a great job. And then supporting us and saying, you guys are doing a fantastic job. And I think you can't be afraid of that because, you know, negative comments, it creates dialogue. And it creates that conversation that you want to take place on your blogs, or that interaction and that engagement.
Right, and people will sort of back down after that too.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that a lot of times people try to stick their head in the sand and think, okay, I'm going to ignore all this conversation that's going on. I'm just not going to pay attention to it. But the fact is that, you know, these conversations are happening. People are talking about you or your brand or your company whether you want to be involved or not, and whether you want to be engaged or not, wouldn't you rather be a part of that conversation, helping to guide that conversation, helping to have your opinion as a part of decision making that somebody's going to make? And I think that you do, because a lot of times, as you said, you can shift somebody's belief, like, oh geez, yeah, and that's what happened with, you know, one of these examples is that somebody later came back on and said, geez, I'm really sorry, I didn't see it that way.
Yeah. So what do you answer when people say, well, what's your ROI on this?
You know, I think ROI is such an old marketing term. I've never liked the term ROI because, you know, can you really track the ROI on a print magazine ad? No. But I think it's the ROE, it's return on engagement. Right. You know, that you are building brand advocates out there for you. That whether you're spending, you know, I put a lot of time, and Eric and my team, we put a lot of time into these social media things. But, you know, we're being able to engage people that we wouldn't even know we're out there.
Right.
And they think it's so cool that, wow, Park City Mountain Resort is out here, you know, connecting with us.
Right.
They're out here, and then they're passing that on. You know, it's like this big sphere of influence is what I call it, you know. Yeah. It's like that sphere of influence. Okay, with, you know, maybe we've just had interaction with you, you know, but let's say that you have, you know, 1,000 people read your blog or are your followers. Right. Well, you're going to talk about us, so it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Right. And there's no other marketing or advertising medium that allows you to do that. We also have our PC Ski account as well, which is on our Twitter, which is, you know, that's more our snow conditions. That's more of, you know, we're always monitoring it to see, okay, who's talking about Park City, who's coming to Park City, and we make sure that we talk to them and say, hey, do you need any help planning your trip, or do you need any restaurant recommendations or anything like that? Cool.
And you guys, so it's PC Ski on Twitter, and Krista is Krista_Parry on Twitter, and Eric is Eric_Hoffman. I'm not an underscore fan, but you know, whatever works for people.
You can go to Krista Parry too, it'll direct you to Krista_Parry.
Anyway, well, thank you very much for getting us up on the mountain and having us here. It was really fun. It's a beautiful day. The snow's great. We really appreciate the extra 18 inches over the last couple of days. It's much appreciated.
Well, thanks for bringing the snow with you, because honestly, it's like once you came, the snow fell.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So thanks. This is Horsepower at Park City with Krista Parry and Mike Henderson, and we'll see you next time.